Hi everyone, how are you all doing? My name is Natalie. If this is the first time that you're watching my videos, I am a Western tropical astrologer and I use a whole sign house system for all my forecasts and reading. In this video, we are talking about this upcoming week astrology forecast, and we'll be talking about May 11 to 17 of 2026. This week, Mercury is quite a busy bee, and we are also welcoming a Taurus new moon, so let's talk about it. On May 13, Wednesday, we have Mercury in Taurus sextile Jupiter in Cancer at 20 degrees. So today can be a day where some of us might receive some positive news, some good news, maybe a positive breakthrough from a situation or a conversation, a meaningful or productive meeting or conversation or so on and so forth, right? Because Mercury sextile Jupiter can be a day where you find yourself in conversation that flows, that might teach you something, or you are teaching someone something, because Mercury is the messenger, right? And it relates to education. Jupiter is also a teacher energy. So today it can be a day where maybe you are exchanging ideas with someone at work, or just leisurely, you're throwing topics at each other and bouncing ideas off each other. Maybe today is a day where you have a spiritual conversation, right? Because Jupiter talks about religion, philosophy, and spirituality as well. And this sextile can be something that is supportive, that is positive, maybe even educational for some of us. And since both Taurus and Cancer, they're both yin signs, so in some way, this can also talk about messages, confirmation, or even signs and synchronicity that is being felt rather than communicate through words, right? This can be subtle intuition or omens and signs that you see and that you interpreted internally as well. Next day on 14, we have a Mercury Cazimi. It's happening at 23 degrees 48 minutes in the sign of Taurus, and it's happening 7:24 a.m. Pacific time or 10:24 p.m. Hong Kong time. So adjust the time according to where you are in the world. That is the exact time of the exact Mercury Cazimi. But I would say that sometime, even though that's when the energy is most potent, the energy can be felt, I would say half a day before and after. So that window of time is when the energy is most potent, right? And of course, the exact time or just the couple hours before and after it is the most potent. So Cazimi is whenever a planet aligns with the sun, and today is Mercury. So Mercury travel through and align with the sun forms a Cazimi. Mercury Cazimi is because Mercury talks about messages, our thoughts, communication. So whenever we have a Mercury Cazimi, this can be a moment of light bulb moment, aha moment, revelation, realization that you have. And I would say that usually Mercury Cazimi is more of a personal, more intimate and intuitive experience. This can be seeing a sign, overhearing it from a conversation or lyrics that meant something personal to you. This can be a sign or omen you see that is a confirmation for you. This can be a sudden revelation, aha moment you have internally. Now you're seeing things clearly, or now you can see things from a particular perspective, or something might just click and you just get it, right? This can also be a confirmation, like a yes, right? A great day, of course, to use it as electional astrology for signing contract, for solidifying a deal or whatnot. This can also be a day where it's very inspirational for some, where an idea might just come up. You might feel inspired. So pay attention and see what your Taurus house is about as well. That Mercury Cazimi might be related to the themes and topic in that Taurus house as well. And since Taurus talks about finance, money, the stock market, cryptocurrency, or our resources, our relationship with Mother Earth, this Mercury Cazimi might signify something related to those topics for you as well. May 16, we have our Taurus new moon happening at 1:01 p.m. Pacific time, or for Hong Kong earlier time zones, this is May 17, 4:01 a.m. Hong Kong time. So adjust the time according to where you are in the world. This Taurus new moon is happening with the sun and the moon both at 25 degrees 57 minutes in the sign of Taurus. Love a Taurus lunation. It's usually quite nourishing, generative, and grounded. But this Taurus new moon is going to have a deeper layer and meaning to it. So let's break it all down, all the aspect that is happening during this new moon. This new moon is conjuncting the fixed star Algol in the sign of Taurus. So Taurus is, this new moon is at 25 degree 57 minutes, and the fixed star Algol is at 26 minutes. So right next to each other, almost aligned, but not yet. Also during this new moon, we have Mars conjunct Chiron in Aries at 28 degrees. I talk about them together because they bring out some similarities in the energy. So let's talk about Algol first. The fixed star Algol is associated with the Medusa, which is the Greek myth. And I'm not sure if everyone knows about it, so I'll just talk about it really quickly, right? So the fixed star Algol is symbolizing the blinking eye of Medusa, which is known as the goddess of snakes, the snake head goddess, because she has, usually you see her in the status, she has hair, which is made of snake, right? So that is her kind of icon in some way. And her myth is one of the ones that is very misunderstood and so sad and tragic. So Medusa is actually this very beautiful temple goddess in the temple of Athena. And she was brutally sexually assaulted by Poseidon. But instead of Poseidon receiving any punishment or Medusa receiving any justice, she was actually blamed for her beauty. And it was her mistake that she got sexually assaulted. And she got turned into a gorgon, a monster with snake's hair, and that she has the ability to turn everyone that made eye contact with her into stone. And this is out of the jealousy of Athena, which is so sad. And she was banished, right? Of course. Athena, which is her sister, supposed to be her sister, right? But she betrayed her by aiding Perseus to slay and beheaded her, and actually placed her beheaded head on her breastplate as a protection. So yes, it's chaotic. I mean, Greek mythology is always very violent, chaotic, and just crazy in a nutshell, right? But this one is just so sad, right? And this is why the fixed star Algol is representing the blinking eye of Medusa. And this fixed star Algol in astrology also symbolize the injustice, the suffering, the violation that people experience or endure under systems. And having this Taurus new moon conjuncting fixed star Algol in some way is really reminding us how parallel we are living in the world right now, right? With all the wars, the injustice that we witness on a daily basis through our phones, we are literally live streaming genocides that is happening in multiple parts of the world. We are seeing people unalive on a daily basis. We are seeing gender injustice violation from e-files, we are seeing how so many people suffering under all this corrupted system, and we are being exposed to all of them on a daily basis, right? On our phones, social media. While it can really make us feel very helpless, hopeless, some of us feel disassociated by it, there's just so many emotions that triggered from all of this. But one of the biggest emotions is rage. The rage, the anger that we feel from all of it. And happening with this Taurus new moon, I feel like there is a deeper layer of it, right? Having this Taurus new moon that is all about our sensual embodiment, our sensual experience on this planet Earth, conjuncting this sextile algo, is reminding us that yes, so much is happening in the world right now that is unjust, unfair, that really pains us, that anger us. But anger is one of our emotions. And anger, rage can actually be alchemized and be very powerful, right? It reminds us to actually not just let our rage override us, to consume us and to devour us. But how can we take rage seriously, right? To be conscious of it and to know how powerful it can be if we choose to alchemize it, and to understand the potency, the power, and the potential of it if we tap into this power of rage that is all within us, right? Whether it is you feeling the rage through what I've just said, what I've just shared, or maybe this is happening in your personal life. There are certain areas of your life that is very frustrating, that you're feeling rage. How can you alchemize this into a transformative tool that you can work with to understand yourself better, right? To work with our own awakening and our own transformation, and not letting it devour and consume us, but by start, just like the Medusa snakes on her head, right? Snake, while it can be like, ooh, it's dark, right? But in spirituality, snake is also potent, powerful, and transformative, right? And in Newton's law of energy cannot be destroyed or created. It can be transformed and transmuted. So how can we turn this rage, anger within us into creative tools, into creative energy, into joy, into potential, into liberation, and start understanding it and start working with it to our benefit and to benefit others as well? And during this new moon, another aspect happening is the Chiron Mars conjunction in Aries, right? So Mars is all about taking action, and in the sign of Aries is talk about one's sovereignty and self-autonomy, right? So this is about you not letting your wounds, your trauma to hold you hostage, to put you down, but taking your power back, reclaiming it by using this Martian energy to allow yourself to heal from it, right? We cannot heal if we don't feel it. So the first step to all of us is to feel them. And we're just coming off from the Scorpio full moon 2 weeks ago. That can be still really raw and new to some of us, that we are still trying to process all the emotions, all the perhaps wounds or trauma that is resurfacing. And it can be a very tender, vulnerable time the past couple of weeks for some of us. And this Taurus new moon, yes, it's a new moon, but it is also needing us to make peace with what is coming up and what are we going to do about it, right? This is reminding us to not let it consume us, but how can we also sit with them? Sit with this emotion, this rage, this anger, this sadness, but to understand it, to know that this is also part of you, that makes the whole you, that you can use this energy and turn it into a powerful potential. And this Mars-Chiron conjunction is also reminding that while we all incarnated or we have all this wounds and trauma, we are also a warrior. We are also our own healer, right? That by honoring, embracing our pain points, our wounds, our trauma, not running away, we are also allowing ourselves to heal and learn from them. That we can coexist with them, we can live with them, that they become not just our bad experience, but they become our lessons, they become our knowledge and wisdom that we can even share and empower others to do the same. And during this full moon, let's talk about the ruler of this new moon, which is Venus, that rules Taurus. Venus right now is in Gemini, and during this new moon, Venus is making a sextile with Mars in Aries. But the exact sextile will not happen until May 18, which is early next week, but that energy is being felt, right? Mars and Venus are quite opposite energy, right? They relate to different things, but they are both warriors in their own way. And while the two of them, when they come together as a square or opposition or sometimes conjunction, can be a tougher energy to work with, a sextile is helpful. A sextile is kind of like a 60 degrees balancing each other. So this sextile between Venus and Mars during this new moon, during this conjunction with Algol and Mars with Chiron, having this supportive Venus sextile Mars in the background is also reminding us to restore the balance, right? Mars and Venus is going to remind us that yes, so much is happening, maybe in your personal life as well, but how can we find ways to help ourselves balance between give and take, between sitting with the pain, feeling it, but also not allowing to consume us, so that we find productive way to help ourselves through it as well. So overall, this is not a typical nourishing, grounded new moon as we expected, but it's a very transformative, regenerative new moon in some way, shape, or form. It is really asking us to, even though it can be hard, to not run away from what pains us, from what traumatizes us, that give us our wounds or what is happening around the world, instead of making us feel small, powerless, and helpless, that we come together can still be so powerful, and transforming that anger, that sadness, that rage that we might be feeling, whether this is in your personal life or on a collective level, that we can transmute this energy into something creative, into joy, into potential for a better world for all of us. So during this new moon, if anything comes up, I would invite us to just sit with them, to feel them, to process them. And Taurus is all about, again, our central embodiment experience on this planet Earth. It talks about something that is tangible and practical, right? So this is also about having our grounding tools to help us through it, right? And to allow ourselves to sit with them, to be in the present moment with them, and to be there to feel it, so that you can also heal it and set tangible, realistic, practical, perhaps, intentions that you can tend to in the next 6 months when we have our full moon in Taurus as well. Next day on 17, there's going to be a vibe shift because Mercury is going to leave Taurus and enter Gemini. So Mercury is going to leave the slow and steady grounding Taurus into quick, playful, lighthearted, and maybe sometime moving too fast, mutable sign Gemini. Mercury is also in home in Gemini because Gemini is one of the signs that Mercury rules. So Mercury in Gemini is so fast. It's literally going to spend like a couple of weeks here till June 1st. So Mercury in Gemini is all about mental stimulation, right? It's It's a transit that you might find yourself very quick in mind, right? You are very busy. You have a lot of things going on in your mind. Maybe you are feeling a bit more hyper in some way, shape, or form. You are more chatty. You might find yourself being more chatty, or people around you are expressing that energy. You might finding yourself having ideas coming in and out. You might feel a bit scatterbrained, right? So be mindful with this energy too. Like I always say, all transit planets energy, they have positive, they have sometimes shadow attribute. So Mercury in Gemini, while it can be really fun, it can be very mentally stimulating, it can be you having interesting conversation with people, meeting new people. It's a great transit to network, to meet new friends, right? To even flirt a little bit if you want to. But it might not be the best transit if you're looking for some very deep, cathartic, healing conversation. It might be, for some, not all, might be a bit non-committal, flirty, and playful, but can be lighthearted too, right? Like I said, great for networking if you want to, and socializing, but maybe not like a very deep conversation, right? You can find yourself sometimes scatterbrained. You can have a lot on your mind, so be mindful with this energy, because this can definitely cause restlessness, anxiety, overthinking, and overstimulating. So know some grounding tools, have them with you when you find yourself being overstimulated, when your mind is going 100 miles per hour. You need some grounding tools to help you ground your energy back. And immediately on 17, right after Mercury enter Gemini, it is going to conjunct Uranus at 1 degree. So this can be an explosive day. 17 can be a day where we might see some interesting headline, right? With Uranus, it's a wild card energy. We never know what to expect sometimes. It can be a mixed bag of energy. So this can be explosive, disrupting news or information that we might receive today, whether this is personally or on a collective level. So pay attention to the headlines. But Uranus and Mercury in general can also be a moment of realization, can be like an eureka moment. Sometimes a little bit like a Mercury Cazimi too, right? So this can be a little bit of surprising news, right? Something that you did not expect, but you hear today. You know, there's no good or bad, but it's just unexpected. It might be surprising. It might be something shocking even. So be prepared for it, right? It can go both ways. And if you do receive something surprising, shocking, please share with me, comment below, and let me know how this day transpired for you. On the same day, we also have another aspect happening. This is the Venus in Gemini sextile Chiron in Aries at 28 degrees. We just had Mars conjunct Chiron yesterday during the full moon. And today, it feels like Venus in Gemini is going to give us a little smoothing balm from it, from that new moon that can be quite triggering for some of us. Venus in Gemini is more of a let's talk it out energy, right? Because Gemini is about the mind, it's about communication. Having Venus there, maybe this is a day where something come up from the new moon, or still working from the Scorpio full moon that you're trying to process. And perhaps today with this Venus in Gemini, it might be a great day to talk it out, to express yourself. Maybe this is by having a conversation with your loved ones. Maybe this is scheduling a session with your therapist, healer, astrologer, and whatnot. So I know this is a lot of mercurial energy this week, and we also have a rather intense new moon this week as well. So stay grounded, have your grounding tools with you, allow what needs to come up for you, and try to allow yourself to sit with them, to process them, to feel them, because in order to heal from them, to learn from them and transmute them, we first need to acknowledge them, to allow them to come up to the surface, right? I'm sending you lots of new moon blessings and love. And if you are interested, I am offering personal consultation in astrology, tarot, akashic records reading. I also do distant energy healing sessions. If you're interested, email me below. All my information are in the description box. In the meantime, I'm sending you lots of love. Have a great week ahead. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye.